Hey there, welcome aboard. Our statistics are based on the number of primary and secondary schools by type, location, and category in Selangor. And this is our data. We got this data from data.gov.my, which is Malaysia's open data portal. As you can see, there are several types of school. For national type C, national type T, GARS schools, special education, and others. We have for urban and rural, and also government or government aided. We go to our first pie chart. As you can see, this is the overall for the preschools statistics. You can see the rural and government dominate the whole pie chart with 46.6%, followed by urban and government, rural and government aided, and the last one, urban and government aided with 3.33%. For the next pie chart, we can see that the national schools is actually leading with 82.5%, followed by national type C, national type T, and others. In urban government school for primary schools. Next, for this pie chart, we can see only 3 types of school, urban government aided for primary schools, which is national type D, national type C, and national schools, with national type C leading the chart with 39.6%. Next is rural government for primary schools pie chart. National schools have the largest number with 81.3%. It is obviously that the national schools have the largest number with the percentage of 81.3%, followed by national type C 11.6%, national type T 6.77%, and special model comprehensive 9 0.398%, while others are 0%. These are rural government aided for primary schools. We can see that national type T has 61.3% rather than national type C have only 37.5% and the national with only 1.25%. We entered with the statistics for secondary schools. For urban government school, we can see that only 6 types of school out of 11 types of schools for secondary schools in Selangor that have been dominant by the regular schools with 91.9%. Next, urban government aided for secondary schools in Selangor only have 2 types of schools, which is regular and GARS, with regular dominant the chart 52.2% and GARS with 47.8%. For rural government schools, only have 4 types of schools, which is regular, fully residential schools, vocational college, and religious schools, with regular 88.8%, the highest one. The last ring chart, we can see that there are 2 types of schools in rural and government aided, which is GARS and regular schools. GARS schools dominate the chart with 92.3%, followed by regular with 7.69%. For overall primary schools, the national schools dominate the chart with 447 number of schools in Selangor, followed by national type C and national type T, and only 1 school for Special Model Comprehensive 9 and Special Education in Selangor. For overall secondary schools, there are 232 regular schools in Selangor, followed by GARS with 23 schools, fully residential, vocational college, religious schools, and only one school for special model and special education. This horizontal bars shows the differences between the number of urban government and government-aided for primary schools. The government schools dominate the bar except for National Type T schools, who have 17 government-aided schools, while the government schools have only 14. For rural government and government-aided primary schools, National Schools for Government has the highest number of schools with 204, while the National Type C and the National Type T for government-aided schools is higher than the government schools. For overall secondary schools, we can see that urban and government schools dominate the chart with 58.1%, followed by rural and government with 28.9%, followed by urban and government-aided, and the last one, rural and government-aided. This pie chart shows the overall percentage for primary schools. The urban and government schools dominate the chart with 41.7%, followed by rural and government schools with orange section with 38.1%, followed by rural and government-aided, and the last one, urban and government-aided. For the last pie chart, it is the overall number of schools in Selangor for primary school and secondary schools. We can see that urban and government schools has the largest amount of schools in Selangor with 46.6%, followed by rural and government schools with 35.4%, and rural and government-aided schools with 9.94%, and the last one, urban and government-aided with 8.12%.